Hi everyone, quick pre-market update. You can see we did get the gap down. We did hit the trend line like we thought we would. Now we're catching a little bit of a bounce into the pre-market. Still very much a short-term downtrend, but let's go ahead and look at these charts and some others to see if there's any plays in the markets today. Do me a quick favor and like and subscribe and watch the video till the end to help out the channel, and let's get started. So looking at the S&Ps here to start, you can see we did touch the trend line. We did hit that area we talked about at the 589.90 area, 589, 590, somewhere in there. Momentum's kind of tapped out here. RSI catching a little bit of a bounce. We're above the SMA. We'll see super extended, got all the way down to a 22, very, very low there. And now we're above the SMA. Want to see this kind of bottom out, maybe higher low setup, and then get a little bit of a rally off of that. Push maybe towards this VWAP. That would be my first target at 594.53. If you watched yesterday's video, you know that max pain is very, very low for today's session, so that might drag down markets. Definitely a concern there, but short term, still bearish, looking for a little bit of a retracement. We'll see if we get the higher low set up at the trend. Is it going to hold up? Based off of this double bottom big rally, I would expect at least the higher low, maybe a touch of that 200 if this trend line breaks here, and that is sitting at 586.75. From current price, that would be about a 0.75% move. But from the after hours price action, that's a little more than 1% lower. So see how it plays out. Is it going to bounce from here? I still expect the higher low setup, just a little bit of a retracement, which continues to happen here in the pre-market this morning. And then looking at the Tasty charts just for a moment, I wanted to show that lowest ATR band. It does continue to trend lower. We did hit those lowest bands yesterday. That was kind of where price was grinding in the after hours, way over through it. We're still above it here now. That lowest band is 590.51. Obviously, that'll continue to step down just slightly as we go through the session, but it doesn't move a whole lot, just a couple of pennies every single candle. So a couple of candles, maybe this pushes into that 590, 589.50 area today. That should be the bottom of markets. Doesn't mean we can't overthrow it and then bounce, but that's generally where we finish up, and you can see we're already there. Moving over to the NASDAQ, you can see we gapped through that 144 EMA. The rally has not been as aggressive in the pre-market as the SPY charts. Support now is that 503.52 level, 200 just below it at 502.40, and then the trend below that 502 flat, basically. Again, RSI does not look as good, but it did get very, very oversold at a 20.99. That's a pretty low level. Usually when you get that low, you can see it here, that's where you start to get rallies up, especially in this overall bullish market, which this still is in my opinion. Expect the higher low, expect a push above the SMA, and a rally from there is what I'm hoping for. That is what I think is going to happen. Still looking for that higher low setup off of this bottoming formation here, which triggered that rally here. Now we've had the consolidation breakdown, higher low setup in this range, looking for that 502 to hold at the lowest. If this does break, there's a chance we round trip this move back into that 492, 486.80 area, back into this trading range, which is where we were before the rally. So important zone here today, probably going to get tested here today, needs to hold up. If it doesn't, we're probably going to see a change in structure, a dip low, higher low setup off of this high, and then we start to see this kind of structure move lower into that 486 area. So those are the scenarios. That's what I'm watching for. And then looking at the Tasty charts here for the Qs, you can see we're already below that lowest ATR band. That is at 504.80. We're right there now, 504.72. Continuing to grind lower. 8 EMA is your resistance at 505.89. This continues to accelerate. Obviously bearish conditions here. ATR trailing stop is 508.26. So everything is broken, very much short-term bearish. We'll see if these lower levels continue to start to hold up at all. The low of the pre-market was very extended, but that's around 504.16. Want to see those levels hold. If it starts to break through there, I think we could round trip this all the way back into the 500, 503 area. So we'll see. Right now, it's holding up with this gap down. Want to see it hold and rally into the market open. Moving over to stocks to play today, we have BABA on the list. BABA did hit the trend line support that we finally talked about. It was at that 90.37 level, hit that level yesterday, held support. You can see pre-market, it's up about $1.50. There was some news about China and Alibaba earnings doing fairly well. So you can see it's popping here in the pre-market. Still very much a downtrend on that short time frame, but you can see big spikes. That was a nearly 5% candle, hit the 144. Now you want to see this higher low. hold this structure. The RSI looks good. Probably going to fully round trip this move, consolidate in here, hold the trend, and then look for a push up to this trend here around the 98.82 area. But this is a good catalyst, even though it's round tripping in short-term downtrend. This is the kind of catalyst that can get that change in structure. And on the medium time frames, still this is a bullish trend. We just had a massive overextension on the China stimulus news. Since then, it's still holding the higher low off of this previous low here. Want to see it hold there and push this trend, like I said, up in that 98 to 100 area. Next up, you got LULU. This has been a pretty dramatic chart. You can see very long downtrend. We were up in the 500s, pulled all the way back, got more than cut in half down to the 230 area. That was very extended to the downside after that style move. And then you can see consolidation, grinding price action. Then we broke out, retest, continuation, hit this trend line for a little bit. And since then, we've broken out. We broke out here on the Wednesday, and then Thursday got a little bit higher, got above the 200. Pre-market doesn't look super great, but this is a clean breakout above trend resistance. This trend line was very, very important. We did have it on the charts. You can see is established long ago from this top back in December of 22. Marked these bottoms nearly perfectly through July all the way up until October of 23. And now we're hitting that level again. Clean breakout, clean above my level. 328.09 is my level. And zooming in here to the hourly, if it can hold that structure here, that's the level. That would be my stop loss. Need it to hold that level. If it can, I think there's a pretty good risk reward here up into the 360s. Like I said, it is a little bit extended already, but we're starting to break out above some really critical levels, and that's when you can start to see some pretty strong continuations into those upper levels, especially on a very volatile stock like LULU. Next up here, we got Salesforce. This has been on a run for a couple of days here. You can see 3.5% and then 6% going back to Friday and then the Monday sessions. Since then, we had a bit of a fall yesterday along with everything else, about 3%, and it is falling a little bit more. So short term, this is bearish. Topping formation, breakdown low, looking for the 9 EMA at least at 321. So that gives you about $7 lower in the short term, even from the pre-market price, $10 from the closing price. Probably going to fall a little bit more. Closed on the low yesterday. Momentum stepping down. RSI very extended. Got all the way up into the 82 area. Now I would expect this to kind of pull back into the VWAP area, 310. Maybe in the trend line here, it kind of grinds sideways into this around 312. So short term, bearish. I think it's going to round trip most of this move. And then lastly for today's video, we have ROKU. ROKU absolutely looking pretty terrible. So you had the massive breakdown on earnings, hit this higher low, and then bounced back into this consolidation range through some wicks, and now we're selling. Yesterday was only 1.18% down, momentum stepping to bearish. The critical level here is 73.50. You can see all of these 55, 21, 9 EMAs all moving into the same consolidation range. If it breaks through here and starts to go, I think we're headed back into that 65 area, which is pretty much in line with this previous low. That would give you a double bottom, very much a move that can happen within a day or two. Again, critical zone here is 73.50. My guess is that at least gets tested. That was a critical support for a long time, going all the way back to September 12th. Tested multiple times here through September, and then again here on this kind of fake out breakdown, retest, continuation lower. Again, same thesis, retest, wicks, lower high. Looks like this is going to sell some more back into this 65.90 to potentially 64.61, right in that 200 and 144 SMA area. The other concern here is that you hit that SMA on the RSI and catch a bounce in there. Either way, this is still short-term bearish, looking for that touch here, but something to watch for. Maybe you get the higher low. Either way, for me, this still looks short-term bearish. Maybe it holds in here double bottom, like I said, but realistically, we've been in this same trading range for a long time. We got into the same price February of 23, and I don't see any clean moves in either direction. Definitely a trading stock, not something I would be buying for the long term. Looking for a move into this area. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of the markets, this pre-market price action, or any of the trade setups that I'm watching here today. Do you like them, or what are you trading? Let me know down in the comment section. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.